南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏、南無。Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning. Let's see. There are so many things to say this morning, but first, I'd like to introduce Chomon no Kokoroe, how to listen to our Dharma message, how to listen to our Dharma message. So please join me in Gassho, put your hands together. How to listen to a Dharma message. Listen as if I am listening for the first time. Listen as if the message is for myself alone. Listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Buddha Dharma. 弔問の心得。この度のこのご縁は初ごとと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は我一人のためと思うべし。この度のご縁は今生最後と思うべし。南無阿弥陀仏、ナマンダ、ナマンダ。Again, good morning, everyone. So I was in Berkeley, California for about 10 days for the Kyoshi training session. The Kyoshi is receiving, there is a tokudo, there is an ordination. The second level is we call Kyoshi certification program. Those who receive the Kyoshi, they can apply for the Kai Kyoshi, that they can be the resident minister. So Kyoshi itself literally means teacher, teacher. So Kyoshi, those who are receiving the Kyoshi status means as a Buddhist minister, becoming a kind of teacher to guide other people to share the Buddha Dharma. Of course, the Tokudo ministers also, they are sharing the Buddha Dharma. Is Kyoshi minister has more responsibilities. Those who are receiving the Kyoshi means as a teaching license. So to have to guide, lay members, Sangha members, plus as well as the ordained the Tokudo ministers and the ministers' assistants too. So that's why those training session was really concentrated. There are lots of programs. They have to learn a lot of things. So they are supposed to have a Kyoshi training session in Japan, but due to the COVID-19, this is historical event. It was the first time to have a Kyoshi training session outside of Japan. So then they meet at the Berkeley, California at the Jodo Shinshu Center. Then 11 Kyoshi candidates, 9 from BCA, Buddhist Churches of America, 1 from Canada, 1 from Hawaii. They get together. Then we had lots of instructors also staying at the Jodo Shinshu Center. Then I was one of them. I was a ritual and sutra chanting instructor. I went there. Then from Takoma Buddhist Temple, Tadao Koyama Sensei also, he was also the chanting and the ritual instructor. He stayed there almost 2 weeks. 2 weeks. He stayed there, a couple days before the Kyoshi training session started, then until the very end of the training session. I joined the Kyoshi training session from the day 2 to the end. So the schedule was, it says, wake up 5:30 in the morning, first clean up. Then, of course, in the morning, changing the cloth, cleaning up. Then morning service started at 7. Then all those Kyoshi candidates conduct a service. Then takes about 1 hour. Then about 30 minutes question and answer. Then 8:30 to 9:30 is the breakfast time. Then 9:30 lecture starts till 12 noon. 12 to 1 is a lunch break. Then 1 to 5:30. Another, lectures. Then 5:30 kind of evening service. then 6:30 to 7:30 dinner break, then 7:30, yes, after 7:30 still, there's another class. 7:30 to 8:30, another class, then 8:30 to 9, it's called bedtime service. So that's a 8:30 to 9. Then after that, some students practice for the next morning service. So wake up 5:30 in the morning, then up to 9, the schedule is really packed. Then even after that, self-study. So that's 10 days training. So I felt I become really healthy. Wake up really early in the morning, then eat, healthy food 3 times a day. If I staying at home, then especially the summer break time, I become lazy. I wake up late, then the meals also, that's not a set time, but for that 10 days, I wake up early in the morning, then I ate healthy food 3 times a day. I was exhausted, being honest, but I felt it was really meaningful time to me as well. So from our district, Reverend Tadao Koyama sensei's wife, Cindy Yasaki sensei, also joined this Kyoshi training session. Then from Spokane Buddhist Temple, the Melissa Oppo sensei also joined this Kyoshi training session. They completed this training, so hopefully after a couple weeks, they're going to receive the Kyoshi certificate from Japan. Then both of them are considering to apply for the Kaikyoshi minister, full-time minister. So then, yeah, that is the Kyoshi training session second half of August. I was in Berkeley, California. That's why I missed last Sunday service. I was in Berkeley. Then one of the lecture, Reverend Kiyonobu Kuwahara, he was also giving a lecture on how to become a Kyoshi minister, the guidance for the Kyoshi ministers. Then he introduced this, how to listen to a Dharma message. Listen as if I am listening for the first time. Listen as if the message for myself alone. Listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Dharma. So always, whenever Reverend Kuwahara delivered the message at the Berkeley Buddhist Temple, he always starts with this, how to listen to a Dharma message. This is a reminder for all of us how we should listen to the Buddha Dharma. So always we should think, this is our first time. First time, those who are coming to this temple over and over again, you may be listening the same Dharma message or same stories. Some famous stories, sometimes all different ministers are using periodically or regularly. However, we should listen all these stories, Dharma message, for the first time. But sometimes we think, oh, I already know this story. I don't have to listen this Dharma message. That's not a good attitude as a Jodo Shinshu followers to listen to the Buddha Dharma. Whenever we listen to the Buddha Dharma message, we should listen as if this is my first time to listen to the Buddha Dharma. Then we may understand something new. We may hear something new. In reality, during the pandemic, we are reading the sutra class. We are reading Three-Piaran Sutra over and over again, section by section. We are reading same sutra. However, every time I get different questions. Every time we learn something new. So it is really important to listen the Dharma message as our first time. The second one is listen as if the message is for myself alone. So this Dharma message is not for somebody else. We may think, well, from the next week, we have a Dharma school starts. As a parents, we may think, oh, this is for the children. This is not for me. This is for children. This is for the students. No. All the Dharma message, we should listen. This is for myself. We are, Dharma message, all the Buddha's words is coming from Amida Buddha. This is for me. I am this, Amida Buddha, Shinran Shonin, is talking to me. Always we listen that way. This is not for somebody else. All the teaching is for me. The last one is listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Buddha Dharma. We may think, I told you, next Sunday, we see here, as Dharma school's children are coming, but we don't know what's happened today or tomorrow. That's our teaching, right? Our life is impermanence. Our life is constantly changing. When we look at our, in the world, I don't know how many people are dying today. One day, I could be one of them, but in my mind, I'm thinking, those numbers are, not to me, somebody else, some other countries. I still think I can live. I conduct a service next Sunday. I'm here next year. Then I'm still living next 10 years, 20 years. I'm still thinking that way. So, but Buddhism teaches us our life is impermanence. We keep saying that. Our life is constantly changing. We don't know what's happened tomorrow. So that's why we have to know this could be the last chance to listen to the Buddha Dharma. We have to cherish each moment, each service. We should be serious about each service to listen to the Buddha Dharma. So this how to listen to the Dharma message, which Kuwahara Sensei introduced me, is telling me the core teaching of Jodo Shinshu, or Buddhism. So please keep in your mind when you listen to the Buddha Dharma. So today we are having the BCA Founding Day service. So from today's year 2022, so about 123 years ago, BCA started. So we are having the BCA Founding Day service to recognize how BCA started, to respect, appreciate those who maintain this temple, or maybe 123 years ago, those who started the Buddhist churches of America. We recognize these people's effort. Then also, we are having the August and September Shotsuki service we are having. So as you know, I hope you know, when you look at the newsletter, you can find Shotsuki list. So this September's September's newsletter, you can find a September Shotsuki list and October's Shotsuki list. We are listing 2 months Shotsuki list. Shotsuki service is a monthly joint memorial service. So during the Shotsuki service, we conducting the service for the people who passed away in September, those who passed away in August, especially today. Then today, I got a request to recognize one person's name, our loved one's name, so I read that person's name. So I started this Shotsuki service a couple years ago, probably during the pandemic I started. I was doing via Zoom. Then I sometimes get a phone call or email to recognize their loved ones' names. Then I was conducting these services. Then from now on, probably I can conduct these services maybe in person or hybrid. I used to conduct on the first Saturday of every month at 10 a.m. But today, I combined this Sunday service. One is because I wanted to tell you we have a Shotsuki service. Another reason is here. We had a softball tournament yesterday. Then finally, we won the tournament. So, so that's why these trophies are here. When you come to the Oshoko, please take a look. We're going to keep here until the next year's tournament. Then we're going to have a tournament again with Takoma Buddhist Temple, then hopefully White River Buddhist Temple. Probably we can extend our invitation to Oregon Buddhist Temple, Yakima, Spokane, Idaho, Oregon, all the Northwest temples, if they can come to the softball tournament. So it was a really great opportunity to get together, meet with other Sangha members. There's some younger members come to this softball tournament. Then through this softball, we get to know each other. Then we can make a great relationship, good relationship. So I think long time ago, Northwest District or this Puget Sound Temple, they used to have this type of tournament before, but one day they stopped doing it. Then 2017, 5 years ago, we resumed having this tournament. So Reverend Kakihara at that time, he was a resident minister of Takoma Buddhist Temple, and I talked. So we used to go the same school. We had a school tournament, softball tournament in Japan. So Reverend Kakihara remembered it. At that time, we played softball at the final game. My class, my team, and Reverend Kakihara's team. Then our team won. Reverend Kakihara still remember that. Then he wanted to revenge. So then 2017, we decided to have Seattle and Tacoma. We had a softball tournament. Then Tacoma won. Then since then, Seattle never won this softball tournament, but finally we won this tournament. So, but we really enjoyed this tournament. So hopefully next year we have more people to come to this tournament. So going back to the Shotsuki Hoyo memorial service, memorial service is one important service for the Buddhists at the Buddhist temple. So there are so many important services, of course. Ohigan services coming soon, then Hanamatsuri service, Gotaen service, Honko service. There are so many important services, as well as, of course, this memorial service is also important. Through our loved ones' life, we listen to the Buddha Dharma and reflect upon our life. Because Buddhism is a teaching to liberate from the cycle of birth and death. Liberate from birth and death, freed from this cycle of birth and death. So some people misunderstand, there is a reincarnation. People understand the reincarnation. Buddhism is a teaching to be reborn as a better place. That's people may think in this reincarnation cycle. But please don't misunderstand that Buddhism is a teaching, guidance to be freed from this reincarnation. Reincarnation, the cycle of birth and death. That is the main or fundamental reason, teaching of Buddhism. So that's why when we encounter our loved one's death, it is our precious opportunity to think about our life, our life, which is the birth and death, which is our life is constantly changing. Then when Shakyamuni Buddha was still in India, Nepal, Shakyamuni Buddha also talked about these teachings. Our life is impermanence. Shakyamuni Buddha's life is also not an exception. Shakyamuni Buddha's life is also impermanence. One day, his life as a human being ends. That's he was telling his disciple all the time. Then one day, at the age of 80, his life was ended. His life ended. One disciple, Ananda, lamented, then disappointed and depressed because his great teacher, great master died because Ananda cannot hear Shakyamuni Buddha's guidance anymore. Ananda is the disciple who always be with Shakyamuni Buddha to support Shakyamuni Buddha because Shakyamuni Buddha is already 70, 80 years old. So Ananda was always with Shakyamuni Buddha, always listening Shakyamuni Buddha's guidance, always following his guidance. So that's why one day when Shakyamuni Buddha's life ended, Ananda lost the guidance. He didn't know what to do from the next day. So then another disciple, Anuruddha, came to Ananda and told him, "Hey, Ananda, you have to remember what Shakyamuni Buddha taught you. Shakyamuni Buddha was always telling our life is impermanent. Shakyamuni Buddha's life also the same. There's no exceptions. Everyone's life are constantly changing. Everything is constantly changing." Anuruddha taught him or reminded him of Shakyamuni Buddha's guidance through the night. This is the origin of Buddhist wake service. Buddhist wake service. So Otsuya in Japanese. So this is why from the beginning of Buddhism, when we are encountering someone's passing, we are always listen to the Buddha Dharma, Buddha's teaching. This is our teaching. This is our tradition. Then we listen to the teaching, then reflect upon ourselves. But if we just listen, our life is keep changing, constantly changing. Our life is one day, our life is end. If we stop that point, that is not Buddhism. We have to go beyond that. If we just say our life is constantly changing, probably other religion or other teaching also can say so. But Buddhism is saying because our life is constantly changing, we have to be ready for that. How? That is that in Jodo Shinshu, we have to be ready to be born into the Pure Land. We have to listen to the guidance, teaching of the Pure Land. We have to walk the path to the Pure Land. In Buddhism in general, it is eightfold path. Eightfold path. Then we can go to the enlightenment. It is our goal. So in Jodo Shinshu, we listen to the Buddha's teaching, Amida Buddha's guidance. Then we rely on to the Amida Buddha's guidance. Then we walk the path of Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. We always listen to the Pure Land teachings. Where is our life's destination? We set our life's destination to the Pure Land, born into the Pure Land. Then we live our everyday life here. Our life is still constantly changing. But if we set our life as if we set our goal to the Pure Land, every day becomes the path to the Pure Land. We don't have to be reborn as, go back to the cycle of birth and death. So that's why this memorial service is a precious occasion for all of us to listen to the Buddha Dharma. Our loved one is giving us the opportunity to think about our life's impermanency. Also, as well as our loved one is giving us the opportunity to listen to the Buddha Dharma, Amida Buddha's guidance, what Pure Land is, how we can born into the Pure Land. So this Shotsuki memorial service, I continue doing this service. Please check the calendar. When is the next Shotsuki service? I'm still thinking when is the best time to schedule this Shotsuki service. So to conclude my Dharma message, I would like to read the episode called On White Ashes. So if you have a purple service book, White Ashes is listed on the page 146. So please listen deeply the words of Rennyo Shonin, who wrote this letter about 500 years ago. It is an old letter, but still it is meaningful who are living here and now. Probably I have a little bit different English translation, but you can compare what I'm reading in English and the English translation written in your book, service book. On white ashes, in silently contemplating the transient nature of human existence, nothing is more fragile and fleeting than the life of humans. Thus, we have not heard of human life lasting for 1,000 years. Life passes quickly, and few among us can maintain their life for even 100 years. Whether I go before others or others go before me, whether it be today or tomorrow, who is to know? Those that go before us are as countless as the drops of dew. Although in the morning we may have radiant health, in the evening we may return to white ashes. When the winds of impermanence blow, our eyes are closed forever. And when the last breath leaves us, our face loses its color. Though loved ones may gather and lament, everything is to no avail. The body is then sent into an open field and vanishes from this world with the smoke of cremation, leaving only the white ashes. Nothing is more real than this truth of life. The fragile nature of human existence underlies both the young and the old. Therefore, we must, one and all, turn to the teachings of the Buddha and awaken to the essence of life. By so understanding the meaning of death, we come to appreciate the meaning of this life, which is to be treasured because it is unrepeatable. By virtue of true compassion, let us realize the unexcelled value of this life, and let us live together with gratitude in our heart, humbly and respectfully. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you.